Hi, good morning. I'm Kristin Omdahl and welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. This is episode 272 and we're here live in Southwest Florida waiting on the sun to rise over the buildings and the trees to the east. And this is the Gulf of Mexico behind me. It is an absolutely gorgeous and quiet morning here today. So peaceful. It's not too hot or humid. The waves are nice, the water's calm, there's no wind. It is so relaxing and beautiful, and I'm so glad that all of you had a few minutes to join me this morning. If you're joining me live, please say hello. Let me know what you're crafting on this week today, or if you have any questions for me. And if you watch the recorded version, please also feel welcome to say hello and ask me any questions you like, because I always reply to those comments throughout the day as well. Good morning, Judy, Naomi, Elisa, Isabel, Joe. Thanks for joining me live, everybody. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Hi, Annie. Hi, Belle. Hi, KB, Karen. Good morning, Lisa and Brenda. Lots of familiar names and some new names this morning too. So if this is your first time joining us live, welcome. So glad to have you. Many of you probably got, good morning, Jill, got notifications this weekend that your book shipped. And yay, I'm so glad. I worked really hard this weekend trying to get as many orders out as I could. Good morning, Kim. Thanks for joining live. Good morning, Brenda. I'm almost caught up on pre-orders, but not fully. Apparently, my credit card company thought it was suspicious activity that I spent so much money on shipping labels this weekend, and they seized my account yesterday, and I took it as a sign that I needed to work on something else. I did as many orders as I possibly could this weekend. I even got Marlon to help me do some of the orders, so that was great. And I will be calling my credit card company this morning to assure them that yes, I did spend that much money on shipping this weekend. Belle went to cookie college this weekend. I'm guessing that means a cooking class, maybe? I watched the new season of, thank you, Margaret. I'm excited for you to receive your book too. I watched the new season of The Great British Baking Show, season 6 on Netflix as I was shipping this weekend. And I'm up to the finale and don't know who won yet, but super excited about the 3 that made it there. I absolutely love that show, and I know I'm new to the game. I know lots of people have been watching it for years, but I absolutely love it. Good morning, Mary. Thanks for joining live. Good morning, Nancy. Glad you could be here. Yeah, so I want to say 90% or more of the pre-orders are shipped. So, but now I think the post office is closed today, so they're in my car and ready to go to the post office. The tracking numbers are and labels are done, and so you can track it, but until the post office actually opens, I won't be able to bring them there. Kim thought of me when she heard the British baking advertisement. That's awesome. Mar got her book and soaps on Saturday. Wonderful. Good morning, Vera. Hi, Mary. Naomi got her email. Wonderful. I ordered new soaps this weekend too, so a lot of our favorite flavors of my organic bar soap will be back in stock very soon, and a couple of new scents as well, so I'm excited about that. I know I miss lemongrass, I miss blood orange, I miss blood orange bergamot, I think it is, and I miss patchouli a lot. So those are 3 I'm excited to have back in my shower. But I've got a whole bunch of scents coming, and they'll be in stock probably by the end of the week. Mar loves my soaps. Wonderful, I'm so glad. Yay, they're so natural and good for you, and they smell so good, and they pick up the colors of the essential oil, of the flavors that are in them. The lavender citrus is really nice too. I agree, Mar. I just love how differently they're colored too. I'll take more pictures when they arrive, but yeah, they'll be in stock towards the end of the week, I believe. Depends on when they ship. I ordered it this weekend. Patchouli is Kim's favorite scent. It's right up there for me too, Kim. I think lemongrass is my favorite of the soaps though. and peppermint too. Oh, there's so many. I love all of them. Does anybody have any questions for me? I was going to do some little bit of demo stuff this morning, but before I get started, we'll see if anybody has any questions. Good morning, Marissa. Thanks for joining live. As you can see, I'm wearing my favorite earrings. I don't think I can, until I make a new pair of them, I'm really not going to take them off. Good morning, Thea. Thanks for joining live. Yeah, demo's going to be fun. So I decided maybe it's not quite a silly segment, but in the theme of Mythbusters, I thought it would be fun to decide which shawls look better with a butterfly clip and which shawls look better with a shawl pin. So you can buy any of my handmade shawl pins on my website. I have 6 different styles, and each of those 5 different styles, and each of the 5 styles come in rosewood or ebony. This is one of the styles in rosewood. Really beautiful. And here's one of my butterfly clips that you can find in my Amazon shop. It's a metal clip that looks cute in the hair, or as a way to close different types of shawls and wraps. And so this morning I thought we could look at a couple of different shawls and wraps and scarves and see how or why a clip may work better than a shawl pin, or a shawl pin might work better than a clip. So I decided to bring some sample garments from my book Motif Magic and a few other pieces, and I thought this might be a fun example of showing how or why one works better than the other, or when you have the flexibility of doing either. So I'm just wearing a silhouette I've got my fleece leggings on and a tunic over the top in a solid color, because I feel like when you wear a solid color silhouette underneath, I think that's a really nice way to show off. Not that it's the only way you can wear hand knits and crochet items, but I feel like it's a nice way to show off your outer layer, because it makes your eye focus on what's not the solid color then. So we'll start with, this is the Laguna shawl. It's one of the knit motif projects from Motif Magic, and I wanted to show you that this one would be a fantastic candidate for the butterfly clips, because I'm going to go with a small one because I want to show you that you could use multiples like buttons on this one. Well, let's show you the shawl first. So this is a half hexagon shape of hexagon motifs that are knit and joined as you go, and that's in worsted weight Be So Bold yarn. But each one of those is a knit motif that's joined as you go, and we're going to turn it around, put it over the shoulders, and you know, you've got all your traditional methods of wearing a shawl, right? Including just draping it like that. But I wanted to show you that with the little butterfly clips, you could make buttons down the front of this, and it'll look more like a proper capelet with buttons. So you could do that. You could probably, no, I think 2 is enough, because that's the side edge of the hexagon. So now if I back up, I mean, that's totally secured. And I'll turn around. With my knees in the seashells, ouchie. So I think this is a great candidate for the mini butterfly clips. That would be the small ones. But I wanted to show you that this is actually a good example of something that looks super cute with the shawl pin too. See, so you could put the shawl pin there instead, and in those eyelet holes it goes in real nice, and you get that same look with the shawl pin. Now if you wanted to wear this as a scarf, you know how we were showing how to do shawls and scarves and cowls the other day? You could do this one too. So we're going to hold it the same way we held some of the other ones. From the center over your center of your body, and about shoulder width apart, we'll scrunch them up, scrunch up the sides, so we get that volume. And we'll put the volume in front here, wrap it around the back, and bring it back to the front. Look at that. How's that for a cowl? Just gorgeous. So you could tie this in a knot, or you could use your shawl pin. Morning. Or you could use your shawl pin, or this might be a candidate for our large butterfly clip. Here's the large one, and you could clip them together like that. How gorgeous is that? Huh? Isn't that beautiful? Imagine that over a coat this winter, or even over a jean jacket on a chilly day. But it'd be great for winter or even an early morning in the fall. So even for a shawl that you could wear in your warmer months, it becomes a gorgeous accessory for the winter too. So cute. I think it'd be pretty over my white down coat too. It'd be pretty over a black coat, over any color solid coat. A pea coat, how about a navy pea coat? That'd be gorgeous. All right, so there's a shawl that fits both the butterfly clips and the shawl pin. So now we can move on. Oh, I wanted to, let's see, what else? What else do I have? Here's one. Here's a piece. Oh, this reminds me of something else I wanted to mention. This piece from Motif Magic was, those of you who know Nastasia, Donna Wolf, this was her favorite piece from Motif Magic. When she did a book review of the book, this was her favorite piece, and she even did her own version of it and did a little tutorial, and you can find that on her website. She's also done a tutorial for 80 Handmade Gifts and did the Grace bracelet. So if you follow her or would like to follow her, she's done a really nice review of the book, as well as doing she did a demo of the Grace bracelet. So her YouTube channel is Nastasia, and her website is nastasia.com, and she did a really nice review of the book and demoed that bracelet with my permission, of course. She also has a set, the sampler box of Be So Baby yarn, and she loves it, so I'm looking forward to seeing what she designs and what she has to say in her review. So that should be coming soon. Anyway, back to Motif Magic. I believe this is called the Delma cowl. How funny that I don't remember now. Good thing the book is alphabetical. Yeah, it's the Delma. Yep, this is the Delma cowl from Motif Magic. And so I first showed you that you could do this with a shawl pin, and I think that that looks totally fine. Maybe not with these earrings, it's a little bulky with the earrings. So I think it'd be a great candidate for a shawl pin. I think it'll also work with one of the larger butterfly clips. But I think the smaller ones might get lost on that. The large one's cute though. I think the large one still works, but I think the medium and the small might get lost in such a bulky and graphic design. So I think that the most you could do with the butterfly clips is the large one. But even because it's so bulky, you have to dig down to get a layer from the layer a bit from the layer underneath. Oh, that looks better. So I was able to pull that layer through the holes of the top layer, and then the butterfly pops a little more. I actually like the sparkle of the butterfly with the sparkle of the buttons in the flowers. So I think that looks super cute. So okay. So we found another candidate that works with both the butterfly clip and the shawl pin. Okay, find a few more. If anybody has any questions, please stop me and ask them. Oh, here's another good example. This is the Tyra wrap from Motif Magic. And I'll show you the photos in the book. Sometimes it's helpful to see proper photos instead of me just being willy-nilly here live. So here's some pictures. There's the schematic, so you can see the type of design that this is. This was inspired by a herringbone tile pattern. And here it looks more like a cowl, like a shrug. And I think the best way to actually keep it looking like that, to actually wear it out of the house, is going to be by securing it. So there are a couple of ways that we could do that. Shawl pin, no brainer for this one. This would be great. Someone's asking for fingerless gloves. I have some free fingerless glove patterns on my website. You could find them on my free pattern catalog. So that's no brainer. I think that looks just fine done with the shawl pin. But I think this might be another candidate where the mini clips, the mini butterfly clips used as buttons might work. So let's see, where do the edges lie here? Might have to roll this up to do a shawl collar first, because we want to have some sort of a line, right? So that we could do, but okay. So I folded the collar back so that I could get some vertical lines here. And now that I have those vertical lines, I can secure it like it has a cardigan front. Okay, yep, now we got it. So now it looks more like a shrug or a cardigan, and you'll see it'll look that way too. Hi Jane, thanks for joining live. Okay, so this one we had to adjust differently to be able to use both the shawl pin and the clips, but as you can see, once we adjusted accordingly for the type of closure we wanted to use, it was a success for both still. All right, moving on. And again, please stop me if you have any questions, okay? This is going to be a great project for the butterfly clips, I think, because this is a very delicate shawl. And I think once we clip it in the front, it's going to immediately turn into a capelet. So what I like to do is make sure that I line up my color stripes. So I'm going to pay close attention to making, once you line up the first one, the rest of them should be pretty easy to do. Alright, so now then we can adjust it to make sure that it lays flat. Oh my gosh, like how adorable is that? So that would work down the front. I think you could even do it off to the side maybe a little bit. I think that might be cute too, where you get that asymmetrical neckline. I think either way that would be super cute, but I just love these stripes. So this would probably be cute with the Morgana shawl as well. This is the Marissa shawl from Motif Magic. I'll show you some photos of the shawl in the book. But this is, I think, is quickly becoming the way that I wear it now that I have these little clips. So here's some photos. There's the shawl just laying flat on you, which we all know is pretty, but not functional if you're going to be really busy. So like, let's say you're having a holiday party and you're actually doing the cooking and the hostessing, you're going to want something that doesn't just lay on you. If you're a guest, that style's perfect. If you're going to be doing any of the work, you need it to stay in place. So I think putting the butterfly clips would be a perfect way to do this style of shawl. And this one's done in Be So Fine yarn, so it's really delicate. So I would definitely go with the small clips for that one. And I'll show you with the shawl pin. I think the shawl pin will work, but it's just more of an organic look. I think that it might be a better candidate for a thicker shawl or done in a different way. So let's do this one as a cowl too. So we're going to take it, put the center over the center of our body, working shoulder width apart, scrunch this up, lay the center over the front of us, wrap the tails around to the front. Oh, this is going to be beautiful as a cowl. Now, once we do this as a cowl, I think you're going to have a lot more flexibility in how big of a clip you use or in using the shawl pin. This would be a great candidate. I almost want this to be in front, but let's see. Once we pull this to the side, the shawl pin is going to look like a really cute accessory on the shawl. It's real hard to see in the camera what I'm doing, but you can imagine that if you had time to zhuzh this in your own bathroom, you can see how cute that would look. It definitely looks like a proper accessory on there. And I think now that it's wrapped around, we've got a little more structure with the fine yarn. I think we could even go with the large butterfly to fasten this one. Let's see. Even up like that. Not getting it. I think you get the idea though. So maybe like that, or you could even go with a medium clip too. One of the medium butterflies. I think the small butterfly clip would get lost once you do all of this wrapping. I think there's so much volume now that the small one, the one we use for buttons when things are laying flat, I think you'd lose that in here, so you'd need to go with at least the medium or the large or the shawl pin. But how cute is that? I mean, it just totally, you could even tie it if you don't want to do any of those things. And I also think that pulling that middle section out and putting the tie underneath will just give volume to this, and you can see the main pattern better. So that's the Marissa shawl done in 3 colors of Be So Fine yarn, and the pattern can be found in Motif Magic. All of the patterns in Motif Magic can also be downloaded individually. If you don't want to buy the whole book, you can buy each pattern individually on Ravelry as well. And all of that information is on my website at kristinomdahl.com/motifmagic. Okay, what else do we have in here? Got a bunch of pieces, and I brought some pieces from 80 Handmade Gifts also. So this is one of the shawls from 80 Handmade Gifts. I can't remember if we've done this one with the butterfly clips, but I thought it would be really cute to show that these stripes would look really cute with the butterfly buttons. So I'm going to match up my stripes perfectly. And I didn't. Let's see. Almost. Maybe we'll start with this one. Okay, well this one doesn't want to line up perfectly. There we go. I get it? Yeah. So you can see once you line up those stripes, I'm not getting it. There. I don't have it perfectly. You'd have to judge this in front of a proper mirror apparently. But I think that this one would end up looking super cute like the other one if you line up the stripes perfectly and make it into a capelet. But I'm gonna quit that for now because apparently I'm not getting it right here. But again, this would be great for doing a shawl pin. So, does everybody know how to use a shawl pin? I guess I could point that out too. So you want to make sure that you take both pieces of the fabric and put them over each other. Then you're going to poke in both layers and then poke out both layers. And then that's it. That's how you keep a shawl pin in place. That's how you use a shawl pin in a bun or in the top of your hair as well. It's really easy to do. And so sometimes on finer fabrics it's a little trickier, and on heavier fabrics it can be a little easier. But then that's only goes so far until you get into super heavy fabrics. So you know, it's all an adjusting process. But you can see how cute that looks, especially offset. This isn't one of those candidates where I think offset is the way to go. Yeah, on the side, that's what I call offset. Offset meaning not in the center. I think that looks super cute. You can see we've got our yarn ball beads on there, and you've got that swag. All nice little details. This pattern is available in 80 Handmade Gifts, and it uses Be So Fine yarn, and you can find the yarn and the yarn ball beads for sale on my website, as well as the book. What else did I want to show you? Oh, here a couple other patterns I brought that aren't from either book. They're free patterns on my website. This is the Knit Lace Sampler Shawl, and I think this is going to be a really amazing candidate for lots of different styles. And this is, believe it or not, this is one ball of Be So Fine yarn, and it's a half circle shape. And remember the other day I was talking about wearing something as a skirt? Now if you tied it from the edges, what happens is you have all this open space where you would want a skirt to actually be closed. So what you would want to do is take your edges here, not at the points, but somewhere just past where the top edge would wrap to your waist. And you want to make those little ties like we did on the Amazon cardigan the other day, and tie it like this. This is how I wore this as a skirt when I went to Miami with Marlon a couple months ago. Remember when I got food poisoning? Well, I looked cute in this before I got food poisoning. So you can see now it looks more like a skirt, and you end up getting a lot more coverage, where if I'd have tied from the tips, I would have been open this whole way. So by doing it this way, it's still open, but that gathering has a lot more modest coverage. And now if you didn't want to do this by tying your yarn, this is where you could use the clips. So if we wrapped it at this point and clipped it, this might be a way to secure it as well if you didn't want to tie it. Now I'm not going to get this perfect standing here because I've got to be able to see this properly, but I might even have to do like this and do a couple. But yeah, I think the clips would work as well. I like tying it, but I think the clip would work as well. And you could maybe do it more double-breasted where you did a couple of clips even there. But I think that's really fantastic. What I really wanted to show you with this one though is how beautiful this would make. How beautiful this would be as a capelet with the buttons going down the front, or the butterfly clips pretending to be buttons going down the front. I think raspberry looks so pretty with navy blue too. And again, I don't know how evenly I'm putting these together. In a proper mirror, you could do such a better job. So like when you're getting ready to go out, you could do this much better. But here we go. So we've got our buttons. Honestly, we could keep going down with more buttons if we wanted to. Yeah, let's keep going. Let's see, let's go all the way down. I've got a few more here. I think 5 or 6 of these little babies came in a package. So let's use them all. I see 5 at the moment. And then I'll back up so you can see my whole body, and I'll turn around so you can see front and back and everything. All right, so like I said, I could have done a better job if I was in front of a proper camera. But there's the front. You know what I think this would be amazing over is a strapless dress, or even a dress that had spaghetti straps and something that was a little more form-fitted, where you didn't want to show how form-fitted it was, but you could just barely see that silhouette underneath. This is not a terribly difficult pattern. If it's your first knit pattern, I don't know. I don't know what your skill set is, and I don't know what your motivation or drive is for learning something new, but it's not terribly difficult, and I have the written instructions as well as video instructions for it, so it's certainly possible. Yeah, with a strapless dress underneath where you would see some skin and you would just see that silhouette. So I think it would be really, really beautiful to style that in a bunch of different ways. It could definitely go dressy, and it could definitely go more casual like I'm wearing it today too. But yeah, definitely beautiful for a dressy event. You could even put beads in the cast off row along the bottom. I have crochet shawls that are loose and airy like this too, so everything that I showed you in this styling wise, you could do on any of the knit or crochet ones too. Let's see, do I have one like that? Oh, and then I was going to show you, we started with the navy blue cardi vest the other day in Be So Fine yarn, and so I wanted to bring the gold one as well and show you how this one would look with the buttons as well. I know we've already shown it with the shawl pin, and the shawl pin is a no-brainer. Super cute, but not as uniform as buttons, and I still like it. I wear this all the time with the shawl pin. So I'll back up so you can see it. But let's do it with the little buttons now too. If I'm missing your question and it's super important, please feel welcome to leave it in the recorded version, and I'd be happy to come back to it afterwards. It's just, demos and answering questions are like walking and chewing gum for me. You know that. So this is the Fantastical Crochet Shawl. You can search for it on my website. It's also the shawl that I designed for the knit show. That show I did a guest spot on for Vicki Howell last year. So now I've got my buttons on there. And I've done 4. I don't know if I need 5, but I can show you what 4 looks like. I didn't do it perfectly even. You can see that I didn't do it perfectly evenly, but you get the point. You could definitely improve on my spacing. I could too, and that's okay. For the demo, I think it gets the point across. Thank you. And then I brought one of the Zen scarf projects because I thought this would be fun to show with the shawl pin as well, especially since when you buy the yarn kit, I still have it on sale as coming with the shawl pin. So I'll show this with the shawl pin as well as with the butterfly clips. So I'm going to zhuzh this a little bit because I want the piece that goes around my neck to be a little on the loose and drapey side. Let's see how many times we can wrap this. All right, if I wrap it more than twice, got to actually turn it around. All right, so I've got 2 pieces wrapped and I have these 2 tails. Now, I could tie it, and that's perfectly fine, so your 3rd wrap around ends up being tied, or you could do this piece with the shawl pin, and then I'm going to show it as a proper, I'm going to show it as a shawl in a minute too, but as a scarf that you wrap and wrap and wrap. You could easily do it with a shawl pin like that. So then we've got the volume of the 2 pieces that we wrapped first, and then the tied version with the shawl pin. I think that's so pretty. Now you could also go with, I think, a medium or a large butterfly clip would work better than the small in this application. I think the small would get lost in all of these layers. So here, let's do the big one. I think that's gonna look gorgeous. Yes, it does. Look at how pretty that looks. I love the big one. And let's even tie it up here. That looks stinking adorable. And then I think the medium would work just fine for that too. So let's try it on the other side. So it'll come up like that. Yeah, and you could even, if you wanted to do that with 2 clips, do I have 2 mediums in here? Yeah, I've got another medium. I mean, I don't know if it's too much or not. Sometimes I don't mind being extra. So you could do it on both sides and then tuck that up. Super cute. Okay. So now, let me show you a way to drape this. Now it's already, it could be worn as a shawl like this, right? But what if we did some clips so that it could then be more like a poncho?
Morning.
Morning. Let's see. got distracted for a second. So I'm going to go back to the small clips now and see if I can make, what am I using for pins and clips? Well, first of all, the shawl pins are handmade. They come in 5 different styles and 2 different types of wood. This is rosewood, and they also come in ebony. You can find those for sale on my website. And I found some really fun blingy hair clips that I have butterflies on them on Amazon, and I've shared a link to the ones that I bought in my Amazon shop, and you can find links to my website for the shawl pins, and you can find links to my Amazon shop for the butterfly hair clips. All those links are in the video description and can all be found on my website too. So now I'm going to try to drape this over my shoulders. I may have needed to go a little tighter up here. Let's try one more. Let's try a little bit tighter. Totally different look, right? I didn't do it even. See? I could have done a better job in front of a proper mirror, or with a little more time and not feeling pressured for time. But you can see that's totally cute, right? I would love to wear that sometimes. And I love the mirroring effect of the rainbow stripe too. The stripes look super cute like that. You could also put it to the front and wear it more like a vest. This way it looks more like a vest. So again, I didn't do it evenly. You have to redo it to make sure the ends are even. But so pretend like you don't see that. And it's super cute. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah, it almost looks like one piece, Sherry, exactly. Now, if you did this with 2 pieces, you could actually make a proper vest. You would join them on the back, leave them open on the front, and then do the clips like if it was a Ruana. Do I have a Ruana with me? No, but in my next book, Layers, there's a couple of Ruanas, and I'll be able to show you how that can look like a perfectly tied vest. Here's another thing that we haven't discussed at all, is if you make a crochet chain or an I-cord knit chain, you can make corset ties on anything, and that's another incredibly creative way to transform loose pieces into more fitted pieces by lacing up the front, lacing up the sides, or cinching in the back. That's something we should do another day, is talk about. So the hair clips make wonderful accessories for securing different types of knit and crochet pieces. The shawl pin is another way to definitely secure things in a bunch of different ways, transforming these 2-dimensional shapes into 3-dimensional, more fitted looking garments. But even with I-cord and crochet chain, we can do that similarly and even go a step further with those. Sherry's, yeah, you can do this on the X stitch is not the Athena shrug. The X stitch is the jewel of the shrug, I believe. I wonder if you're mixing 2 patterns. Not sure, Sherry, but yeah, any of them. Any shrug, any bolero, cardigan, vest, this works on all of them. Anything that you don't want to apply buttons to because you're intimidated by making buttonholes or what have you, this is a great alternative to not doing buttonholes. Even if you have buttons and buttonholes, it's a way to add a little bit of bling too. So I mean, you have options. You've always got options. If you have any questions after the broadcast, please feel welcome to leave them for me in the comments, because you know I will answer them, and if I don't have the answer right away, I will find it and get back to you. So even if you don't remember during the live, no problem. Save them for later. We'll get to them. We didn't even talk about the view here today, or the houses behind me. I went to a different beach today, and we have a few of the smaller cottage style houses here. And the one right in front of me, that like sagey mint green, that's like dreamy to me. I know it's tiny, but I would take it over any of the big ones any day. So just putting it out there to the universe, you know. we got kayakers out there today. Got tons of seashells here too. Can you see all the seashells? It'd be a great day to go shelling if that was on your agenda. For me, it's getting back to shipping. I have a bunch of shipping to do. Want to finish all the pre-orders. So 80 Handmade Gifts is now in stock. So if you didn't order the pre-order, it is now in stock, so I can ship it just as quickly as Amazon can now. So yay for that. All right, thanks everybody for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes with me. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.